Hello everyone, so it's Ruth from EAA Learning Virtual Academy, and today we are going to be walking through situational judgment UCAT questions. So I'm going to read out the questions to you, give you a bit of time to think about your answer. I'm going to show you the answer and explain why the answer is the way it is. If you want more videos like these, you can please leave a thumbs up and comment down below what more questions you'd like us to solve for you. Okay, let's start. So the first question. Serena is a dental student who is shadowing a senior dentist, Mr. Wardert. Mr. Wardert is replacing a filling for a patient using a brand new tool. The tool is different to the one Serena conducted her training on at university. A few days later, another patient requires a filling replacement, and Mr. Wardert asks Serena to conduct the procedure while he supervises. She is not confident in her ability to use the new tool. So the question is, how important to take into account are the following considerations for Serena when deciding how to respond to the situation? Okay, so the first question is that, or the first thing to take into consideration is that Mr. Wardert may not be aware of what tool she trained on at university. I'll give you a second to answer. Okay, the answer rather should actually be important. And why should the answer be important? Well, it's very important because both Mr. Warder and Serena are responsible for ensuring that the patient is safe. So it's Serena's responsibility to discuss her expertise, sorry about my spelling, and the limitations with her clinical supervisors. Yes. So what they can actually do is they can then agree on a joint action plan to develop competency with the tool. For example, maybe Serena watching a few more procedures using the new tool, right? Just to get her a bit more comfortable. It would not, however, be professional for her to use a tool that she's not comfortable with, because she could actually compromise patient care, which goes against the principle of non-maleficence, and that's not what we want. The next thing to take into account is that she has never conducted the procedure using the tool before. Okay, I'll give you a second just to pause the video. Now, the answer was actually going to be very important. Now, the fact that she's never conducted this procedure using the new tool before is actually very important. This is because, again, Mr. Warder and Serena are very responsible for ensuring that this patient gets taken care of safely, right? So if she has never conducted the procedure before, there's actually a high chance that she could actually, injure the patient in some way, shape, or form. And if that is avoidable, we don't want to be making that mistake. So that is why very important would actually be the answer. Okay, and for instance, some students could maybe choose important rather than very important. And the reason you choose very important is because, if you look at the 4 pillars of patient care, autonomy, beneficence, non-maleficence, and justice, actually harming the patient goes against beneficence and non-maleficence. So if we can actually prevent patient harm, then we should definitely prevent it, right? Obviously, you have some procedures which are going to harm the patient in some way, shape, or form. That's why you'd give them maybe pain medication. But in this case, this pain can definitely be avoided. So we need to avoid it by just not allowing her to conduct the procedure. Okay, let's move on to the next question, number 3. Okay, so the next thing to take into account is that the new tool may be more effective. I'll give you a second and you can pause this video. The correct answer is that this is very important, right? And the reason this is very important is because all parties concerned, that is Mr. Wardit, the senior dentist, Serena, the dental student, and the patient, they need to be focused on what is best for the patient, right? That goes, under the pillar of beneficence. So if the new tool is more effective, it should be an option offered to the patient with the evidence about, efficiency being discussed, so that the patient can make an informed decision of how they would like to proceed with their care. It would not be of, just small importance of it would not just be of importance or of minor importance, just because, again, we want to make sure that the patient receives the best care possible. So if we, being, the dentist in this case, and the dental student are in a position to, offer the patient a very, good piece of apparatus that we can actually use to treat them, or let's say the best piece of equipment that we can use to treat them, we should be offering it to them. We should be telling them about it so that they can make an informed decision about their care. That goes under autonomy. Okay, let's move on. Okay, now on to the next question. The next thing to take into account is that Mr. Warder may not give her other learning opportunities if he finds out that she's not familiar with using the latest tools. I'll give you a second to pause this. Okay, the answer would actually be of minor importance. So this is of minor importance, and this is because patient safety is of the utmost priority. If she has never used the equipment before, and if she's never conducted the procedure before, then she has absolutely no business of conducting that procedure, even if a consultant is present. This is again because, like I've said, she can actually harm the patient. There is risk of her harming the patient, and if that is avoidable, we are going to avoid this at all costs. Now, the reason it would not be the answer would not be not important at all is because although this actually may affect Serena's ability to use the device independently, because if she tells Mr. Warder, oh, hey, I've never used this before, and he tells her, okay, you never get the opportunity to do this again, then this actually affects her because she would actually never learn how to do the procedure. However, it is of minor importance because, again, we don't want her to do the procedure and actually risk patient care. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, a new prompt. Okay, no. Number 5. So another thing to take into account is that she's a student, so she will not be expected to know everything. I'll give you a second to answer this. Now, this is actually very important. This is very important as Serena's a student and she's still learning. So the expectations of a student mainly include basic skills as well as basic competencies. Therefore, Mr. Warder, as the senior dentist, would be aware of the potential skills gap or maybe the deficit Serena may have as a student. So it's also important that, Serena is open and honest about her limitations as part of her professional responsibilities, regardless of the stage of her dental career. This is integral to maintain patient safety in practice. All right, so we've come to the end of our short situational judgment UCAT question review. We only did 5 questions today, but if you guys would like us to do more, just let us know down below in the comment section, and we'll make sure to make the videos extra long for you with some more questions, as well as some recommendations on some question banks you can use, which are both free of charge as well as paid subscriptions. Thank you so much for your time.